I believe that you should help people in creating tools so they can improve on themselves. I don't believe, I did once, but I don't do that anymore. I don't believe in giving food for the day or giving warm clothes. Of course, that helps the homeless right here and hungry right here and right now, but they'll be hungry again and cold again tomorrow or next week again. If you create tools and curriculums which they can watch and use for free, as long as they have access to the internet, then you will give them the chance. You will give that little boy or girl in Mozambique or in Ghana the opportunity to better their lives, to take themselves out of poverty and into a life that has no borders, no limits, a life only they can create for themselves, since the government isn't doing it. So by doing what you do on social media, if you're a creator, it can be on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, but by putting your stuff out there, you are improving people's lives. The people who have comedy channels or gaming channels are making people happy. The people who have educational content give them the tools they need to improve their lives. And somehow the things we do with our content will hit someone somewhere. Even if you'll never meet them, they will have an effect, an impact on someone. And that impact can change the world, because that little boy or girl in Mozambique or Somalia or Ghana, maybe it's the next Nobel Peace winner. Maybe that boy or girl will find a cure for malaria. Or maybe it's the new Mother Teresa or Princess Diana. Or maybe the person will just grow into a beautiful human being who will pay it forward by creating their content, by helping people in their local areas. And that is, I believe strongly, that is how we are going to change the world, when the politicians are refusing to or are incapable of. You picked the right one there. So please, when you create content which you think could have an impact on people somewhere else in the world, so we can change this world into something better. Because I'm tired of seeing people laying on the streets, people hearing people in the news dying of hunger and of climate changes, which we are not going to address because the politicians can't agree on anything. Let me tell you a story. My great-grandfather was Dutch. My father was Dutch. But my great-grandfather was Dutch, and he was a businessman. And he traveled the world doing business. He was a wealthy, nobility family. And I recently learned that he had quite a few families down in Mozambique and in South Africa, I think too. But one of those families was my great-grandmother, and Louisa was her name. And I don't know much about her, don't even have a picture of her, only of him. But she gave birth to a daughter, my grandmother, Maria, or Mariah. And when she was around 6, he stole her. He kidnapped her. I don't know if the mother had agreed on it, but I doubt it. But he took his little girl from Mozambique to South Africa, where he had contacts. He had paid money on the table too. And in South Africa, he contacted the Dutch embassy, which then again provided papers for her, a fake birth certificate, etc. And she was then transported to the Netherlands in Europe, where she was to live at a nun monastery with nuns. And she lived there until she was of adult. And she became a hairdresser and met my grandfather. He works in a little shop, and she got pregnant with my father, so they had to get married right away. So I then recently learned to know a female a bit younger than me who lives in Portugal. Mozambique was at that time a Portuguese colony, so I tried to find some family down there, and I found this girl living in Portugal, and she said that her mother was able to collect not enough money to travel to Portugal, as I understand it, and she also lived in a monastery. But I also learned that my grandmother was the only one to leave Mozambique, and apparently it was because she couldn't stand the heat. She couldn't stand the heat of the African environment. It was too hot for her, so he had to kidnap his little girl to bring her to Europe. And that is why I sit here in Sweden. I'm born in Denmark, but I moved to Sweden. I sit in Sweden having compared to the life I could have had in Mozambique, a great life. And I want to pay back to society, not only in Mozambique, but to the whole world, by creating these curriculums, these tools people all over the world can use. And I hope you will too give it a thought. What can you create that someone, poor kid, a person on the other side of the world can use to improve their lives? Comment down below if you have any ideas on what you could create, or if you just want to I want to hear your voice on it. What do you think? Couldn't this be an option for us normal humans to change the world when the politicians isn't doing anything about it? Comment down below. And if you want to, subscribe to my channel. It will mean a lot. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye.